I see a lot of times is when people have the gloves that are a little bit too big and there's a gap at the end of their fingers, they pull back trying to get the glove on tight so that they can fill the vein. When you're filling a vein, you want to make, y'all learning, so y'all have control over which hand you fill with right now because everything's new. I recommend making your non-dominant hand your hand that feels for veins, and your dominant hand the one that you stick with. Right now you're training your hands to do the right thing, so just keep that in mind. Don't try to feel with your thumb, that's not the best way to feel, but feel with the pads of your first two fingers. In your spare time, like you'll have so much spare time, but I catch myself doing this like in church or when I'm watching a movie. Feel of your own veins, feel of other people's veins, so that you can get a good idea of how different people's blood vessels feel. Okay, when you stick, you're sticking a vein. You're not sticking an artery. Arteries carry blood away from the heart, and veins carry blood back to the heart. So one of the things you have to do to be able to get enough blood is to tie a tourniquet around the patient to stop the blood flowing to the heart, and it makes the blood vessel get bigger. So that's the purpose of a tourniquet. Okay?
When there's no reason
This is a tourniquet.
you have to wear gloves for this.
Sorry.
You always.
This is a butterfly needle. This we call a vacutainer. And tubes. Okay. You're not always gonna know exactly what lab work goes in exactly what tube until you start working. Okay. I know that if you're doing a PT and INR, it's in a blue top. I know if you do a CBC, it's in a purple top. I know if you do a BMP, it's in a green top. But that's because I worked at the hospital and had to draw them all the time. Most facilities have this form in the room, or a form similar to this, in the room where your supplies are, and it tells you these labs are drawn under green, these are under speckle or red tops, blue, purple. There is an order that you draw blood in, and this should be in your clinical notebook, or in your IV forms that you get, and it tells you what order to draw in. Normally, your coagulation studies like PT and PTT go in a blue top, and those are usually drawn first. Alright. Also, you don't always have band-aids in the hospital, so you have to deal with it and you have to make your own. So get a cotton ball and some tape, because as soon as you pull the needle out, you're going to need to see a little area.
Alright, when I add medication to an IV, I have to fill it from
This mannequin is going to be so easy to stick because you can see its veins. We teach you to start at the hand and work your way up. So if you start at the hand and you blow the vein, then you can go up higher. If you start up here and you blow the vein and you want to go down lower to try to stick, if you stick the same vein down here, the medicine's going to leak out in the hole up here at the top. So start at the bottom and work your way up.
Alright, let's put our patient.
You'll see a lot of phlebotomists, when they draw blood with the butterfly, they'll tie the tourniquet up here and go right here in the bend of the arm. And that's just a really good place to get blood. And once you get experience, you can usually go right there and stick my tongue and you're getting blood. I'm going to tie it right here. It's just an easy spot to get to. Okay, when you tie a tourniquet, stretch it out away from the arm and then cross over and then just hook it under just a little bit. This is kind of like the tie when we did restraints. You just want to pull it once and be done. Pull it one-handed. If you put it around their skin like this and then pull it tight, that rubber is like pulling across their skin. It's pretty painful. Just wait till y'all start practicing. I'll get you a
They're going to add it, and then the patient's got the double dose. So this is the most important part, and then check off, if you don't put this on the bag, you won't have it.
You're not coming in contact with any blood, so just to set up and start feeling and that kind of stuff, you don't have to have gloves on. Okay. Feel to see if it's a good vein. If you touch all over it, then you're going to need to clean it again.
Necessarily makes it a good vein.
Not that it's visible. A lot of people wanna stick what they see, and that's not always the case. The superficial veins that you can see a lot of times are really small and they won't hold the needle real well. But if you can push it and it kind of bounces back or pushes back against your finger, then it's probably a pretty good vein.
Put your needle into the bag and
Okay.
put it in the bag.
Under this spongy little piece right here is a needle. The reason it's got a spongy part over it is so when it's inserted into that rubber area, it pushes the spongy part back and you can see the needle. It keeps you from sticking yourself. Another thing that keeps you from sticking yourself is having this on here. And you can push this in one-handed because this is gonna provide some resistance. On butterflies, these wings are what you hold on to. On other IV catheters, you don't mess with the wings, okay? But on this you do. You want the bevel to be up. And you're gonna hold the wings like this. Your fingers should not be below the needle. This should lay right up against the patient's skin. When you stick a patient, either with a butterfly or with an IV, you want to make sure that you go really shallow because you can always go deeper if you're not deep enough. But if you go too deep, and you blow the vein, you can't back out and get the blood you need. Okay. So we're looking for a flashback. So when we go in and we get into the vein, it's going to shine a little bit of blood, or a little bit of blood's going to flow right here in this little yellow part. Okay. So go in at a really shallow angle. Feels like I should be in because you kind of feel a little pop sometimes. Okay, so see that blood? It's kind of coming and going, but it's a little bit of blood right there. It's just a flashback. On a real person, it ought to just fill the whole thing up. Okay. Once you're in, single-handedly, draw blood. Okay. When you are practicing, don't fill these things up because it's just going to drain all that blood out and we'll have to replace it. Just get enough to know that you're in there. This has a vacuum in it, so it's going to fill up as much as it needs to fill up. Okay, it's going to pull until it's full and then it's going to stop. Okay, when you get your supplies to go in there, if you just need a green top, make sure you get 2 green tops when you go to the patient's room, because a lot of times you'll find that one of them's a dud and you don't want to be in the patient's vein and have a good blood vessel and you have access to it, and this one's messed up and you don't have anybody else to bring you anything. You're the only one in the room. So take 2 in there just in case. Okay, you have to leave the tourniquet tied until you get blood, because if you pop it, it's going to stop letting the blood flow in here. Okay, so we're done getting blood. We're going to pop the tourniquet, grab our cotton ball, and I'm not going to put the cotton ball right over the needle because it could come up and stick me in the hand. So I'm just going to hold it close and then put it up there. Okay. And this has a safety on it. This yellow part slides up. So hold the top and the bottom and just pull this tube down and it slides up. Okay. And then go to the sharp side. Okay. Any questions about blood drawn